What's up all my Ewoks, Tribbles, Droids, and Wookiees? It's Anna, also known as That Star Wars Girl, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing a little review of No Time to Die, the new James Bond movie, and the last one Daniel Craig is doing, which I'm so happy about. Now, if you guys are wondering why my hair is all crazy before I get into the review, it's because it's the month of October, my birth month, and I decided I wanted to be Rogue for Halloween, so I did a whole Rogue transformation video. It is way too hot right now to wear that entire costume, so I kind of got the hairs up and I'm like, this is Rogue, chillaxin'. Because I was like, why would I just do Rogue for one day when I could do it the entire month? So if you guys want to go check out my whole transformation video, the link for that is in the description of this video. Go check it out because it's a fun video. But anyways, just to get into this, I wanted to give everyone a little bit of background. I've been a fan of James Bond since I was a kid. I thought he was the coolest thing ever. He was so cool, smooth, dashing, and debonair. He had the coolest gadgets. All of the women in the James Bond movies, like the Bond girls, they were all so beautiful. They looked like my Barbie dolls. They had like the best hair and the best outfits. Just everything about James Bond, from a young age, I was like, wow, this is so cool. And the movies were so fun to watch. And so, just to be blatantly clear about my bias, I don't find the Daniel Craig movies fun at all. I do not think he captures the character of Bond at all. He doesn't have the same charisma. This just seems like a spy movie that they use the name James Bond for. It doesn't feel like Bond to me at all. So I'm not a fan of these Daniel Craig movies. Now, in No Time to Die, this review, there is going to be spoilers. So if you don't want any spoilers, don't watch this video. Maybe watch it after you've seen the movie. But he fucking dies, right? He dies at the end of the movie. He just gives up. Now, this doesn't seem like, a typical Hollywood movie. I'm a girl. I've watched a lot of chick flicks. This is a fucking Nicholas Sparks chick flick movie. You know the dude that did The Notebook, Dear John, Nights in Rodanthe? It always ends up like this. A couple falls in love, but then something happens and they get split apart. And then they reconnect because they find out the thing that kept them apart, was bullshit. So they get back together, and then something happens to keep them apart, and then one of them dies. That's literally the plot of this fucking movie. It's a Nicholas Sparks chick flick movie. It's like The Notebook 2.0. But it's if Nicholas Sparks did a spy movie. Now, the way that they were leaking information for this movie, because I don't believe for a fucking second that, if Hollywood really wanted to keep things under wraps, they could keep things under wraps. Hi, Baby Yoda was kept under wraps. Nobody found out about that shit. It's how, secretive you are with your information. I think that they just want to get people to talk about it, so they did the whole, James Bond, he's not 007 anymore, we have this other chick gonna do it. And so it was like trying to pretend like it was more woke than it actually was, which, guys, it's not as woke as it, advertised to be. The reason why there's the chick being James Bond, or being 007, is because he retired, so they gave the number to somebody else. It made sense. Like, I didn't like it at the way that they did it, because she was kind of a bitch at first, but then once they got to know each other, the movie, it takes at least an hour and a half to get kind of interesting, or oh, okay, this is fun, I'm watching, I'm like, all right, but so their dynamic, I think Daniel Craig, and I'm blanking on the woman's name who's the actress of that character, they actually had good, I think they worked well together. The actors had good chemistry together. The best part of the movie was, Anna something, her name's like mine, except it's with one N instead of two. I spell my name with two N's if you guys couldn't guess. But she was fantastic. Out of all of the James Bond, Daniel Craig movies, she's the best thing that came out of it. And she was only in this movie for 20 minutes. This movie's 2 hours and 30 something minutes. She's in this movie for 20 minutes. She's the best fucking part of the entire movie. She's fun. Her character is smart and witty and kind of quirky. And she's a badass fucking Bond girl. Fantastic. Great performance. I have never seen her in anything at all. But now I'm a fan of her. She was great. Absolutely great Bond girl. It sucks that she was only in this movie for 20 minutes. Absolutely fantastic job. Now, to get back to the whole plot thing. It's like a Nicholas Sparks thing. They're in love. Something happens. Breaks them up. They get back together. They're in love again. Something happens. Breaks them up. And then one of them dies. That's the premise of the entire movie. So the bad guy has history with the chick, the blonde French chick that James Bond married that they met in the last movie. All right, so her dad apparently killed the bad guy's entire family because they're bad guys. He survived somehow, and in the beginning of the movie, he kills her mom because he was expecting to find her dad there. He ends up killing the mom, and he spares her life. So he's like, you owe me. So the bad guy is obsessed with poison. So the whole big bad guy plot is that he's got this virus thing that's made up of nanobots. And what the nanobot does, he has this whole stockpile of basically everyone's DNA in the world. And so they don't really need everyone, it just needs to have your relatives. So if you get infected with these nanobots, what it does is it'll kill you within seconds, and anyone that shares your DNA, if it comes in contact with it, it's a physical touch thing, or, the smoke gets out. And So James Bond gets these nanobots for the bad guy from the chick, because the big bad guy wants Christoph Waltz dead. He wanted the chick to do it. James Bond touches her, gets the nanobots, accidentally kills Christoph Waltz. Finds out also Christoph Waltz was the one that broke them up because he set up the whole big thing in the beginning of the movie. But so it's like big thing that they're trying to press, that Q's trying to press, is if you get these nanobots, there is no way to get rid of them, and anyone that the nanobots are programmed with the DNA for, if anyone with that DNA will die. So it's like, let's say it was programmed with my DNA, but I don't come in contact with it, but my dad does. Well, then my dad would die, right? So that's how it works. So if you don't share any DNA with the person that it's intended for, you're fucking fine. But you still have those nanobots on you, there's no way to get them off. They make that very clear multiple times throughout the movie. So, guess what happens? James Bond goes to fight the bad guy because the bad guy stole his girlfriend. And, by the way, since he took off for 5 years because they split up for like 5 years because the big thing that happens at the beginning of the movie, well, guess what? She had his fucking baby, so he's got a daughter. James Bond is a happy dad, but she tells him, that's not your baby. And he's just like, but she's got my eyes. And she's like, it's not yours. And it's like, bitch, we all fucking know it's his. Why are you lying? Just because he left you for 5 years, it's like, well, you could have probably told him a secret considering you married the motherfucker. And you're like, I'll tell you my secrets once you get over your ex-girlfriend that died in Casino Royale. And it's like, shouldn't you have married him or waited until that before you married him? I don't know. Whatever. Again, it's like Nicholas Sparks wrote this shit. So, bad guy steals James Bond ex-wife and their daughter. So James Bond's got to go rescue the daughter with the 007 chick because now they're friends, right? So bad guy, of course, he has his own island, right? Because bad guy has his own island. It's in between Japan and Russia. So it's big dangerous. Everyone's like, what's going on at this island? So on this island, he's manufacturing he's basically going to infect the entire world with these nanobots, and he's going to control who's going to die. And I'm going to spare the world of disease and all that, and I'm going to kill all of these people, because big bad guy plot, right? But he's obsessed with James Bond and James Bond's girlfriend, so he stole the wife and the daughter. James Bond got to go rescue them and save the world. So James Bond is able to rescue the wife and the girl, get them all safe, but then they got to open up the blast door so that way the Brits can blow up the island, which is going to cause World War III with Russia and Japan and America because they don't have clearance to blow up this fucking island. So James Bond goes and ends up having to fight the bad guy, kills the bad guy, but as the guy is dying, he's like, I infected you with those nanobots that you can't get off, and guess whose DNA it's programmed with? Your girlfriend and your fucking daughter, so you'll never be able to touch them again. Instead of being James Bond thinking, Q will figure it out, James Bond's like, alright, well, I'm never going to be able to touch them again, so I'm just going to die. And just blows up with the island. And it's like, alright, cool. It's it's literally the way Nicholas Sparks writes his fucking books. People are in love, something happens that breaks them up, so they have to go their separate ways, but they're still in love with each other, and then they run into each other later on in life. They're kind of hesitant, and then they find out the thing that kept them apart was bullshit, so they get back together and they're all in love, and then something happens and one of them dies. That's literally every fucking Nicholas Sparks book, movie, fucking ever. And that's literally what happens with this. So no, the movie isn't exactly woke, and there are moments in it where it's like, ugh, it's kind of cringy. But, I mean, if you like Nicholas Sparks movies and you always wanted to see him do a spy movie, a big, high-budget spy movie, this is the movie for you, right? As a James Bond fan, That was not what I was expecting. I'm like, James Bond could have figured it out or just been like, all right, have a nice life. I'm going to get another girl in the next movie kind of thing, because that's kind of how James Bond rolls. And half the time you don't even get an explanation why he doesn't have the same girlfriend in the next movie, because it really doesn't fucking matter in this James Bond magical made-up universe, right? And so, but Daniel Craig dies. The wife's all crying. She's like, she has your eyes. And he's like, I know. And it's like, yeah, we all knew. Why? What was the point of lying to him that it wasn't your daughter? Like, come on. And he dies. It's all dramatic, and there everyone's sad because James Bond died. And then the credits roll, and at the end of the credits it says, James Bond will return. It's like, oh, really? You don't fucking say. But, I think the only way to save this is to bring in my favorite, Henry Cavill, who is ready and willing to play James Bond. I will be so happy. I will get back on the Bond train. But as far as Daniel Craig's time as James Bond, all these movies, I'm like, thank fucking baby Jesus it's over, because I hated those movies and it's done. I'm ready for the next era of James Bond. So yeah, that's my very, I guess, short synopsis summary of what this movie is about. It's Nicholas Sparks' spy movie. That's it in a nutshell. That's the best way I found to describe it. And once I say that, people all just understand. At least people that have seen Nicholas Sparks movies or read his books, they're like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah, that's literally it. So, yeah. Let me know what you think about this whole review in the comment section of this video. If you liked this video, go ahead and smash the like button. If you didn't, that's okay too. Thank you so much for watching this far through. That's awesome of you, for sticking through something you didn't really like. So thank you for that. Let me know your thoughts on the movie if you have seen it. Let me know your thoughts on who you think the next James Bond is, or who you want to be the next James Bond. I'm 100% on Team Cavill. As you guys know, I am a very proud Henry Cavill super simp, so I am ready for him to be Bond. But anyways, everyone, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and until next time, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and may the Force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone! Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for watching my channel and my content. And if you would like to support me further, go ahead and check out my Etsy, The Art of Anna, TSWG, where I sell prints of my original oil paintings and drawings. I have a variety of characters, from landscapes to horror villains to Star Wars characters, DC and Marvel. So go check that out, and everyone, have a wonderful day. Thank you.